Jesus was born in a cave, not a stable. Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm a deep skeptic, also a pastor. The place that Christians venerate as the birthplace of Jesus has a huge church built over it called the Church of the Nativity, and have a really awkward personal story, and it's kind of funny that I'll tell you at the end. But it's not built over the remains of some sort of wooden stable. It's built over a cave. So why is that? The story comes from the book of Luke, and the basic story that you probably saw in a Christmas pageant growing up. Mary and Joseph walk up, knock on the door of the ancient Hampton Inn, and they say there's no room for them in the inn. But inn is not the right current translation of that word. That word is kataluma, and really it is the word for a guest room. There's another word for an ancient inn, so this is a guest room. There's no room for them in the guest room, and so instead they put them in the place where the animals are. Now, we've got archaeology from this part of the world, and a lot of times houses were built in front of some sort of hollow in a rock or a cave. Now, the most valuable thing that a lot of families had was their animals, right? They were valuable not only monetarily, but they also were valuable because they provided the way that the family actually survived. And so at night, to make sure they didn't get attacked by animals or stolen, they would bring them in and they would put them into this place that would keep them safe. And a lot of times that place was a cave that was sort of one back wall of a house. So very early on, like in the first 100, maybe even the first 50 years of Christianity, there is a place that Christians begin to venerate as the birthplace of Jesus. It is a cave in the right location, and they begin to go there and, pilgrimage there. Eventually, that cave gets occupied by another religious group that is worshiping there, but that doesn't stop the Christians from continuing to venerate it, to continuing to pilgrimage to it, which leads us somehow, as always, to Rome. After the Edict of Milan in 313, where Constantine establishes Christianity as the official religion of Rome, his mother, Helena, in 326, begins to go all over the world trying to find the important places of Christianity. And when she's looking for the birthplace of Jesus, she goes and they all say the same place. It's all this cave. And so she builds a massive church on top of it. And people have been going there ever since. But let me tell you my awkward story. So at one point I got to go to Israel and see all of the different sites. And when we go to this place that Christians have venerated for a long time, you walk down these stairs, there's this little cave. And for me, this is this holy moment. But they've got to move people through there really fast. I'm standing there, and the guy who clearly doesn't speak English super well looks at me and says, "Do you want to put your finger in the birthplace hole?" I was like, ooh, yes. And you have to bend down and really kind of get on your knees to put your finger or your hand there. This is what it looks like. But it's in a cave, and I don't know. I just thought you would like to know. It's interesting and a beautiful story.